von mir erwartet ihr nur Spaß und schönen Schein. Es ist nicht leicht.
Don't stop, pop that pussy.
Bonjour, buenos dias, ¿qué tal estamos? What's up, guys? So nice to have you back on this channel. Majo Martinez Oficial. This is my first video, this is my first real video on this channel. I hope you really enjoyed the channel teaser. I'm really happy about the feedback that I already got, about your messages, about your likes, about your comments, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really proud that this is like the first time actually talking into a mic for you guys on YouTube. So I hope you really enjoyed the video. I'm really thankful for everybody. People were telling me or were asking me actually to speak English in the next video, as I got some international friends, guys. So I definitely want to let you know what I have to say. So I'm gonna keep the channel for now at least in English as much as possible. There's also gonna be some German videos, guys, and there's gonna be subtitles as well. So let's see, guys, how everything is gonna develop. But at first I want to say thank you again for the comments and for the first reactions that you gave me. My biggest passion is traveling, guys. I started traveling when I was 18. Straight after school I went for my first experience abroad. Yeah, I had a great time doing so. I had a great time in St. Petersburg. I really enjoyed my time. I learned Russian fluently, and yeah, it helped me a lot to develop my social skills. So that was the starting point when I really realized, okay, there's a lot more to just staying in Germany, to do the normal way of, going to school, going to university, get your job, get your house, I wanted to experience something different, also because I was not sure yet what I was going to study and where. So I had to make sure some things. I wanted to experience something, and I thought St. Petersburg would be a really good choice to start with. There's a lot of questions left to be answered, guys, okay? So I really want to make sure to give you some tips, okay? Just telling you in advance already, like, this is only my recommendation, everybody is gonna get their own way of traveling as soon as you go into it. But this is definitely the ways that I made sure to come through a lot of different countries. My first time, guys, traveling actually was in Russia. So a lot of people of you know already, I've been to Russia after my A-levels, my bachillerato. So what I did is I worked in St. Petersburg with disabled children. It was great. It was EVS project. There's like a lot of possibilities with that as well, which I'm gonna present to you in another video. But yeah, I had a great time. I was like the first time really living abroad, getting to know another country, like improving my language skills on a daily basis, meeting people from around the world, and also I got to know how to travel properly, like what are good ways to do so. And yeah, so I'm gonna present you my list that I developed over the years, guys, and you can let me know in the comments if you do something like this, similar to that. I would be really interested into this. Okay, so my first tip for you guys is Skyscanner. Skyscanner is the must-have app on your phone to actually do some research on how do I get the cheapest flight, where do I go next, where do I have to go to catch the cheapest flights, because the cheapest flights are almost never in the city where you live. Okay, so you gotta make sure to have an overlook. So you can search in Skyscanner, you can do Germany, Georgia, Germany, Ghana, whatever. You can also look for some other countries. Maybe you live close to the border of another country and you're like, okay, I live in the south of Germany. Maybe it's cheaper to fly from Vienna than to fly from Berlin. So you always gotta make sure, take those things in consideration as well. Okay, Skyscanner is the best app, definitely. I made some really, really good deals already on there. So I was, I took one flight. This was definitely the best and the cheapest flight that I ever had. It was 120 euros from Italy, from Milano to Ghana. 120 euros, guys. That was really absolutely incredible. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this price on the list. Of course I got this flight, and yeah, I missed it, by the way, but anyway, it is what it is. Sometimes traveling is not always going out as you planned it, but you're still gonna learn something, you're still gonna meet some new people anyway. But that is something for story time in another video. Exactly. So Skyscanner. What is important for Skyscanner, guys? This is already point number 2. You need to be flexible. You need to be as flexible as possible. Okay, so you're gonna search for not only different cities for a flight, you're also gonna look for different time slots during a month, maybe. Okay, so this is the flexibility. The more flexible you are, the better or the cheaper will become the ticket prices. Make sure, guys, that you are having a close look to those flights in advance as early as possible. You know, like the earlier the flight or the earlier you look for a flight, the cheaper it gets. So this is definitely my second flight. I know not everybody can make this happen. What I want to shortly like take into consideration of all this video, guys, you know, like there's a big difference for me personally between vacation and between traveling. You know, traveling is like a whole lifestyle. Okay, like you can be a traveler for your whole life. Okay, some people will never end or can never end this part of their life as being a traveler because it's kind of addictive. It's so wonderful and beautiful that you live with as cheap as possible. You meet pure, welcoming, nice people that will maybe or hopefully stay your friends for your whole life, that will visit you, you will visit them. It's like an international relations and friendships that are really wonderful to see how they evolve, and it's wonderful to reunite with them from time to time, wherever it might be on the world. Okay, you can do really different stuff. Traveling, you can work voluntarily. You know, like you can work for real in some company in some other countries. You can just go travel around. You can do some documentaries. There's so many things to do in other countries. You know, like the world is huge. So it's time for you maybe to search for the for your place in this wonderful earth. The other point is vacation. You know, like I totally get the point of vacation. Of course, in the best case, as much holidays as possible per year. But what is the difference? The difference that you have only like a certain time slot, and that you want to stay as much as possible in the comfort zone of like really having a relaxed kind of day. Of course, like if your work, if your everyday life is stressful, you want to be of definitely like the opposite of being stressed out. You know, like you want to relax. I understand that, I get that, but like what I'm talking about now is definitely like something totally different. Okay, and traveling is a dedication, and you have to make compromises while traveling. Okay, so now guys, the third point is a website called Hostel World. Okay, Hostel World is definitely one of my favorites. You can always find cheap places to stay, and the best part about Hostel World is that you can directly socialize with people around the world. Like you can get to know people that are already more experienced, that speak the language, that will give you 100% recommendations of what you can do here in the city, in the region, maybe in the whole country. So it's a perfect exchange and start to socialize in a new place, and it's really necessary to do so, because otherwise you will or you can feel lost, especially in those big cities. You know, like the hostel is always a great place to connect, especially if you're traveling alone. Okay, so Hostel World, like there's some really cheap ones. So I think one of the cheapest hostels that I've ever stayed in was like €3 or something in Albania. €3, you know, like this is nothing, and everybody has €3 to have at least the comfort of a shower and a bed. You know, like, and this is always a great option. I guess number 4, for those of you who are actually motivated or who are interested into an other part of traveling, which is Couchsurfing. You know, like it's a bit more dedication necessary for that. So you have a profile. It's also a website. I'm gonna put all the links of the websites in the video description below. So Couchsurfing is basically like you have a profile. Some people in a couple of cities have a profile, okay, and then you can text to the hosts and you can tell them, hey, I'm gonna stay in October for a couple of days in let's say in Barcelona. Can I stay at your place? We can go out for some drinks, we can go to the stadium, we can go to a museum. You know, like it's up to you. It's definitely really important that you have a personalized message that people see that you're really interested into them and not only in staying for free at their house. Okay, that's a common mistake that people do. And now that you have to pay for Couchsurfing, I think it's like 14 euros a year. The community actually got stronger. Okay, so there were a lot of people who took advantage of the system and stayed for free in other people's houses. You know, that's horrible. You know, that's really not nice. So that's why Couchsurfing is a great opportunity to get to know locals directly, and they will give you the best recommendations. Maybe they will connect you with their friends in the best case, and you have out of nowhere, like within one evening or 2 evenings, you have really good friendships, of course, you know, like with people from the location that you're staying in. You know, it's a great way to socialize, to be in a community, and to not feel alone maybe during traveling. So yeah, it only has like pluses, and then it works with references, so you can see like who has a good references, who has been doing couch surfing a lot, who is new to the community, and so you can always have a feedback already, like is this guy trustworthy or not. The more references, the more trustworthy he or she becomes. But it's always up to you guys. I can only tell you to listen to your gut feeling about that. I would say that like normally the most people, especially on Couchsurfing, are safe to say that they are like normal people. Some people are just alone. Some people love to socialize. Some people have been traveling the whole life and now want to give something back to the community. To be like, just give hospitality to people who need it. Maybe some students, young people. There are a lot of different reasons for people to host people for free, especially on Couchsurfing. So yeah, it's a great spirit over there, and the people you meet are incredible. Okay, so I had only great experiences so far, but you have to do your own, guys. I can only emphasize that you have to do your own experiences with this website. Point number 5, hitchhiking, guys. Okay, so you see like there's a little step up again. Hitchhiking is of course a thing that can be discussed, but hitchhiking is a great way, a really flexible way to come from A to B. It's for free. You maybe you're gonna end up in a place that you have never thought of, never heard of, but you actually liking it. Maybe somebody gonna invite you afterwards to their home. You can stay with family. You can meet a lot of new different people. You can practice the language maybe that you want to learn or not. So many reasons to do hitchhiking. You know, it can be a bit dangerous. You know, like it's also about a bit of gut feeling sometimes. You have to be careful, definitely, especially the girls. But all in all, I would say like it's a really great way to come from A to B, to see a lot from the country, to get some information, some personal story, and you share a time with some people in the car that can be really beautiful, because you're talking about like God, the world, their religion, their history, about everything, and it's really like just mind-blowing sometimes what people have to tell you, you know. So I once had this one guy who was in jail, you know, like for trying to escape from the DDR, from the East German part, you know. So crazy encounters that you make sometimes, but I really love it, and I think it's worth a try, guys, you know, like, and you will see if you use all those points that I'm giving you, traveling and your vacation time, semester vacation, whatever it might be, will definitely change. I mean, there are a lot more points to this, but I can do a second video in the near future if you want to. And my last point, the 6th point, guys, is traveling with as least possible persons. Maybe like a small group, maybe alone, maybe only with a friend, with a brother, or with whoever wants to, with a girlfriend. The least persons you are, the easier it gets to get a room in a hostel, to get 2 beds in one room, to do hitchhiking, to actually be flexible. Okay, flexibility comes along with the size of the group. So we just have been recently like in Mexico with like 9 or 10 people, and I can tell you for sure, guys, that's really tough sometimes. So be flexible, guys. Okay, be flexible with as least persons as possible, and you will see that like your experience traveling is gonna change completely drastically. And now, guys, it's up to you. I gave you my 6 points. I'm probably gonna do a second video about this in the near future, because just like there's so much that I could share you with, so many websites as well.
I mean, I think Europe.
So I'm gonna put everything, all the websites down below in the description, guys. Check it out. Thank you so much for listening until now. If you have some comments, if you want to tell me something about,
will be really worth as an experience for your whole future. It's much better. You will always learn something. You will always meet new people. You will improve your social skills. There's so many things to learn there. So, guys, it's up to you. It's up to you now, guys. Like, you can always ask me questions, go into my DMs, comment on this video. How are you actually traveling, guys? What is your way to travel? Or how are you doing vacation? What are maybe the perks of doing vacation? That's something that I can do or discuss in another video. But anyhow.